It's almost like Trump with the tariffs kind of took the heat off of Elon after what happened in Wisconsin, because he needs it. He's been having a really rough few weeks, and Republicans in Congress and elsewhere are getting nervous, and they would like him to turn the dial down on some of this stuff.
Yeah, I was on with you guys some weeks ago, and I said that the Republicans were going to have to bench Elon Musk, that they were going to have to put him on the bench. He is deeply, deeply unrelatable when you look at him. And then he doesn't seem to talk about the American people as if they're actually people. He's running his wing of the country in a very dollars and cents, like Neo from the Matrix way. And he doesn't seem to have that little empathy chip that allows a person to understand when you're talking about somebody's job, when you're talking about somebody's future, when you say that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, I immediately think of my grandmother. And anyone who thought of grandmothers wouldn't say that. So after a while, the shtick was going to get old, and it was going to cost the Republicans electorally. It's a matter of time.
I mean, it's more than having, empathy, Gene. He has said recently that the Western civilization's greatest failure is empathy, which many people would argue is actually one of the better hallmarks of a civilization worth the name. And there is a political backlash. I mean, Harry Enton's run through the numbers a million times, but the reality is that he is deeply unpopular. Now, he put a lot of personal capital and financial capital into this Wisconsin race. It didn't go his way. But at some point, all the knives are out. And he's a great entrepreneur. You got to give him credit for that. He is one of the great entrepreneurs of our time. But this incarnation of Elon Musk is causing massive damage.
I'm just going to channel Kara Swisher here for 2 seconds and note that he did not create Tesla. He came into Tesla, and many of his other companies as well. But I like this headline from CNN Business. It said, in short, voters, customers, investors, and the MAGA elite say the Elon Musk show has lost the plot. His companies are having a hard time with this. And I do think that there's something about this Wisconsin race that was so interesting in the way that Elon really kind of put his money front and center. He wasn't just saying, I'm using my voice as a citizen to push for the guy I like. He was like, let me just hand out some checks, and this is how we're going to win this thing. And I do think that there was always a risk that voters were going to say, that's not how this country works, and we don't like that. And some of that backlash, no question, hurt the Republicans.
What do you mean that's not how this country works? People don't donate money to political campaigns?
No. What I'm saying is that the idea that a billionaire hands people checks for votes is not how the country works.
I don't think that's accurate. He wasn't handing people checks.
So if
for
George
votes.
Soros were to say, oh, I'm going to give away $1 million to a random 5 people who go out and vote on this day, what would you say?
Look, all kinds of billionaires spent money in this race. I think you guys are dramatically overreading the results. A liberal seat stayed in liberal hands and got about the same percentage of the vote as the last Supreme Court race in Wisconsin. It's absolutely true. He stuck his neck out for someone that he thought was important, and you don't win every time you try in politics. I think his electoral record, though, beyond that, is pretty good. Chiefly, I think he was one of the key reasons why Donald Trump got elected president last November. And so, in the pantheon of his political engagements, this is a minor blip compared to the major success of helping Donald Trump regain the White House. He's a great entrepreneur. I think his companies and he personally are getting all sorts of negative attention and even vandalism and all these violent attacks, and it's terrible. I know personally that he's been getting death threats. All for the sin of having been a liberal who decided to support Donald Trump and then go serve in his government for a short period of time. It's outrageous.
It's actually not true. I just want to say something real quick. I understand it. A lot of people want to frame this as people started to hate Elon Musk or not like Elon Musk once Elon Musk decided to support Donald Trump. It's just not true.
I definitely think it's true.
It's definitely not true.
Definitely
Scott.
true.
It started long before then. When Elon Musk bought Twitter, hate speech just erupted on Twitter. Elon Musk's flirting with Nazism and far right type of stuff for a couple of years before this has gotten people off the Elon Musk bandwagon way before he decided to.
I think chronologically that is accurate. Long
So
So you're saying
before,
when he challenged the liberal ownership of Twitter, that's when the liberals started to hate him?
No.
So it is
not,
true.
No, not when he
I mean, it
challenged
is
the.
true.
No, you can. It's not about
I
challenging
don't think
the
it's
liberal
about
ownership.
ownership. I don't think
owned
it's
it. It was a-
solely about Donald Trump. I think it is, to Van's point, that he has been, even before he owned Twitter, actually, before he bought it, before he wanted to buy it, he was turning his personal platform into a place where conspiracy theories, harassment, he accused a random person of pedophilia. It was sued for it. I mean, this was happening years ago, before all of this.
You know, I agree with Scott that we shouldn't make too much of the Wisconsin thing. And in fact, I think there was a bit of a Streisand effect here. Like, I think if Elon hadn't injected himself into Wisconsin politics, it might not have gotten as much attention, and it might have
100%.
Right. So I don't even know that, you know. Anyway, so that's one thing. But I also think he has done exactly what he was meant to do. Exactly what Donald Trump wanted him to do in all the ways. The heat shield, I mean, the crap that he has done and the incoming he has dealt with took a lot of heat off of Donald Trump for the first couple of months of his presidency. That was important, I think, for Donald Trump. And wrecking, the U.S. government, I think, is exactly what Donald Trump wanted him to do. The idea that they would be upset with him doesn't make sense to me, doesn't ring true to me.